let's snuggle up and draw something together. I'm going to be drawing with my ballpoint pen and a regular old sketchbook, and I'm doing a self-portrait. It's January. I live in Southern California, so it's really not all that cold, but it is chilly in the morning. And I was thinking a lot about how a lot of us are conditioned to just be working and working all year round. I don't know. I don't agree with it. I've been kind of pushing against that. I don't really like making New Year's resolutions January 1st because I feel like winter is a time I'm working on honoring my winter. So I'm working on slowing down, being introspective, reflecting on how has the year gone, what are some things I might want to do this next coming year, but I'm not necessarily making and implementing an action plan just yet. Also, my health this last week has taken a turn for the worst. Okay, it's not the worst, that's a little dramatic, but I haven't been feeling that well, and I've been working on really honoring my body and just taking things slow and just working on feeling better and cultivating a routine that allows me to feel the best physically, because when we feel the best physically, we can be our best selves emotionally and be there for other people when we feel good, right? So I'm working on the self-portrait, and like I said, it's just ballpoint pen. It's just paper, but it's really relaxing. It's one of my favorite things to do. Snuggled up on the couch. And we as a society are always working, we're always working. And I have that drive in me too. It's like, I don't want to slow down because my videos are finally getting some traction, right? It's like I'm finally getting somewhere, and then I'm not feeling well, and I'm like my body is signaling to me, slow down. I want to keep going. So this is kind of a compromise. Very chill video. I'm not having to get out a lot of supplies. It's a lot of fun. So I guess Happy New Year, happy 2024. And sorry about the dog in the background. Not sorry, he's just going to be in the background running around every once in a while. Our mainstream society really tells us to push. Starting January 1st, we are pushed into health goals, we're pushed to working out all the time, we're pushed to make resolutions and vision boards, and all of those are great. It's fine. But I feel like really this period, January to February, it's about slowing down, taking a breath, still taking care of myself. So what I decided to do, this just a thought I had, was this during this period of time, instead of like weightlifting and running, and not that I necessarily like run super hard or anything, but during this period of this winter months, I feel like doing more slow, methodical workouts might be a good idea for me personally. So I'm gonna focus on like slow, methodical, like I'm still working out, I'm still exercising, but it's in the realm more of like a slow yoga flow and not like a really intense weightlifting regimen. But what I'd like to experiment, because I don't know about you, but I get really bored sometimes working out. I'm an Aries, impulsive. I want things to be switched up all the time. And so I decided I'm going to do it by season. So during these winter months when we need to be slow, I'm going to do more slow and methodical workouts. And then as we hit spring, I might ramp up my working out and like do things that are a little more vigorous, if you will. So that's my plan. A little off topic, but not really, because we're just talking about winter. Honoring the winter within us and slowing down. So that's my plan. And I guess that also goes for my business as well as an artist. Like, how can I still be consistent in practicing and improving my skills when I don't always feel like getting out all my supplies? Because that is a real life struggle. especially if you live in a smaller home like I do. I don't have like a studio space where everything's set up all the time and I can just go in there and start mixing paints and doing all this stuff. I have to set things up, and that can be a little bit, that sometimes can be a barrier when I'm feeling low energy. And so we have this plan, getting things like just a regular ballpoint pen and sketching things out for a little bit. Or another tool that I absolutely love doing, and it's like so cuddly because you can just sit up on your couch and like watch a show and do that, is when I use my watercolor or water-based, I don't know, those watercolor brush pens. That's what I'm looking for. When I use my watercolor brush pens, I just love being in that zone of just like being able to have a little pop of color, be a little playful with it, but I don't necessarily have to go get out all my acrylics and my water and set up all these tools. Not that that's a bad thing, I think it's a great thing, but just something to think about, like when you're trying to be consistent with something, like what are variations, like when you're feeling low energy. Like I get to a point where I'm just like, I can't keep going, because sometimes I go too hard. Like I go too hard for too long and then I kind of burn myself out. So I have to learn when I need to like pull back a little and just like slow things down. So maybe like having those tiers of levels, or it's like in the winter months, if I'm feeling slow, if I'm feeling like I'm not as inspired or motivated to get out all my stuff, like what are some things I can get out that is still going to help me reach my goal. And that's, with art, it's like if you're studying something, you're still going to get better. And that's something I want to get better at doing, is, portraits and female figures and stuff, because I love incorporating those into an abstract form. But I also need to like understand how it gets put together. I still need to understand how those things go together and like how, the anatomy works and stuff in order to express that in an abstract way. Like I've become better at abstracting faces and stuff when I understand how to make a more realistic face, whether I'm painting it or drawing it. So it's like even drawing it, I'm learning how do the shadows play with each other, how do the shapes work together. So yeah, having those tiers so that you can still like become a little bit better every day without being like, oh, I have to like get all this stuff out, I'm just gonna do nothing, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and watch TV. Or you could be like, I'm gonna sit on the couch and watch TV and then also do this self-portrait, or play around with different colors and color schemes and color palettes with my watercolor brush pens, or like maybe you want to get out some oil pastels and play around with how those colors interact with each other, or how, I don't know. So let me know what you think in the comments below, because I can't be the only one that struggles with this because of like the society we live in. We think that we need to always be going 100% of the time, all of the time, and it's just exhausting, and then you burn yourself out and then you do nothing. It's like so annoying. So I'm just trying to think of some creative solutions and just kind of spinning those out. But this is something that's really worked for me in my practice of being consistent. Am I always consistent every single day all the time? No, there's some days I don't pick up my art supplies at all, but I do, since I've started implementing like at least drawing a picture with pen, like minimum, like one thing, I have become more consistent. But it is life. Like I have kids, I have dogs, I have a job that I go to still at this point in my life, although hopefully that will, end at some point and we can do art full time, and it will, one day it will. It's just, that's the matter of it. But while I'm in this cycle right now, it's like I have to figure out how can I be consistent with the time that I have, with my energy, and I think this is one really key thing. And then also making sure that I am taking care of myself and not just burning out and being exhausted. Anyway, I am really happy and grateful for everyone that has tuned in. I've had a lot of fun making this piece. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and you have an amazing week ahead. I'll see you guys in another video, but bye for now.